Best of 9. In the bottom left side, we have ourselves a blue Zerg fighting for Team Envy. He is DRG. Top right side, we have a red Terran player fighting for the Shopify Rebellion. The red one over here, he is BYUN. I do regret not doing that 1v1. I'm sure we'll get another chance in the future. I mean, he said, yeah, very quickly, so I don't think he will be too bothered if I ask him in some other time. We'll see how that goes. Kozan getting pummeled by pro gamers. That could be a cool show, right? It could be a cool show. Maybe I'll learn something about StarCraft 2 along the way. Maybe I'll learn not to be as bad as well. Who knows? Look at those little tiny fishes over here. We need to take a look at this map, don't we? That is what we need to do right now. Usually I fill this up this time with just nonsense talk, but right now we're on a new map, so I mean there's a lot to talk about, isn't there? Alright, so there's the natural base. Somewhat open ramp. No real high ground differences there in the natural. So the third base is around that similar level, and you have a very long extended kind of high ground area overall on both of these sides, right? So this is still the natural kind of level, and it continues onwards for quite a bit. So not that many differences in the high ground, but where they are, the choke points are quite severe, it looks like, right? Over here, this could be an amazing choke point for some Terran with some siege tanks over here on the top as well, forcing an enemy up on one of these ramps. Could be pretty good. Something like that. There's watchtowers as well on this one. Pretty nice, pretty nice. We have... What else do we have? This third base here. There's got 2 openings and a third base over here. It's only got 1 opening, so I would assume that most players trying to be defensive are going to put their bases over here. Already seeing DRG taking that base himself as well. It's quite a nice path you can kind of follow around here. Leads to a rich Vespian geyser here as well. It's a very small base, it looks like. Only 4 mineral patches, but it does have the rich Vespian, right? Some people are very good at abusing those rich Vespian geysers, so it wouldn't be surprising if those were taken by some of those greedy, well, not greedy, but very aggressive Zergs, of course, such as Bly or something like that. Tries to make use of those. So we have potential for those strategies here as well. Although it does look like that the Rich Vespian Geyser base is truly just there for Rich Vespian Geysers to kind of enable early game strategies without that much other type of stuff there, right? Not really just a regular base. Cool little bridge here in the middle. Allows those Hyens to run on by onto DRG's side of the map. 2 queens should be able to kind of fend for themselves here. Battle cruisers will be a step for BYUN. It's going to be a nasty one, most likely. Without too many queens around just quite yet. No spore crawlers, but it's going to take a while before, of course, before that battle cruiser comes in. DRG still has a good amount of time to build up those spore crawlers, and, well, he's still building a lot of queens. This is something we have been seeing a lot from DRG, actually. Just very, very heavy on the queens. Likes to stick around on that Zergling number for a little bit longer as well. As you can kind of see, let's take a look. How many gas geysers does he have, right? He's still working off of the 1 gas geyser. So this is what he's delaying. He's delaying the upgrades. He's delaying potential banelings. Any type of Mutalisk, Hydra, Roaches, whatever else you could have, right? That is what he's delaying here. In order to still have his economy rolling. And be, well, this high on the queen number. Really cool to see. A couple of links here on the other side as well. That is actually, if those 4 links get surface area, this one here also starts joining in. This could be quite a bit of trouble. Gets the SCV. Oh yeah, this command center could have to be cancelled, and it does. Quite a nice little play there for DRG, delaying that third base. Quite the nice thing, of course. Somewhere, I'm just in my head still imagining that I'm playing a versus BYUN today here. Overpoking. I mean, only 3 workers going down so far. The Hellions on the other side trying to gain entry as well, but Lynx and Queen's got something to say about that. Ooh, Queen's coming off the front here quite a bit, so we'll be able to pick off another Hellion there. Another moment to waste for that battle cruiser. Still lurking about, getting some value with the killing of Creep Tumors here. Coming back in around as soon as he realizes kind of, well, this is where you should be putting down new Creep Tumors, but with 3 Queens there, doesn't really make that commitment. Spire coming up for DRG. That is going to be his cure-all solution, hopefully, against the battle cruiser here. We need to have the Baning. Yeah, we do have Banings. Yeah, great. No speed just quite yet. That could be a problem. As behind this, there is a transition coming up for BYUN, right? There's no mech, which is the common, well, a common follow-up after the battle cruisers. This is going to be a bio follow-up again. Redirecting his attention here is Mr. BYUN. Now, to be fair, DRG not really deviating from the Ling Bane Muta style, so it should be okay for him, honestly. Another small thing that we're seeing here from BYUN is that he's still producing siege tanks. Now, he might just be looking to get 2 or 3 siege tanks and then switch over to the Widow Mines. Or he might be a little bit under the impression that his opponent could very well start a transition into those roaches. Something like that, right? In order to try and combat a mech army. At least that's what you know, a regular response is sometimes, but here we go. DRG is going to have some friendly neighbors coming around asking for a cup of tea. Let's see what he will be able to deliver here. Battlecruiser full, back up to full again. The little Ling on the watchtower a little bit late. We'll be able to see that this attack is coming in here regardless. Enough creep spread to really slow down the marine and siege tank advance here. BYUN trying to find good areas to abuse with those siege tanks right now. It's an okay position, right? Using these disruptible rocks and such. Not bad. You have to wonder as well, like, wouldn't there be something better? Maybe over here. I'm not even sure if that could be siege tanks over there. Anyway, we have the big engagements. No bailing speed just quite yet. That was something that we delayed quite heavily here for DRG, remember. And that is going to bite him in the butt here a little bit. Since he has no real good way to clean up these marines here. Just losing quite a couple of units. The bailing speed still miles away from finishing. So BYUN just moving back and forth on his right side. Holding the Mutalist Get Bay on the left with the battlecruiser. Let's see if he's going to try to come in here again. He's sieging up the siege tanks. He's still building more and more siege tanks. No transition into the Widow Mines. I thought that is what we were going to be seeing here, but apparently BYUN still feeling comfortable onto the siege tank play here. Bit of a run by DRG. Looks like that is a very good area to do something like this. Of course, BYUN again, right, has to realize the pathing and how you can really rotate, where the counterattacks could potentially come from. DRG finding a very quick way through the middle of the map here and getting himself onto a unexpected 4th base trying to be produced. Quite a bit of eco on that 3rd base. 6 workers do go down now. Brings back everything else and is going to go for a massive wraparound. The Zerglings coming from every which angle. Banelings, they do have speed now. Great target fire from BYUN. But it's just barely not enough. Let's see what the unit's loss stat is looking like right now. Still somewhat okay there for BYUN, but man, I mean, with DRG now on the full base economy here. Not having lost too many workers either. Still 73, looking strong. More Zerglings coming across as well. There's no Marines nor anything really to defend this base. And the Zerglings, they will get inside the natural base. Already quite a struggle there for BYUN. Having a couple of SCVs and Marines already go down instantly. 2 Widow Mines there. And they could kind of help out here in this situation. But it looks like they are going to fall as well. At least one of them will. The other one not quite helping out either. Yeah, hey. What's up, Size? How am I doing? I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. Hello, Korean person as well. What's up? What's up? The Zalnaga watchtowers are back. Yeah, they are. They're cool structures. They're pretty cool structures. I like them. Gives a little bit of extra stuff to work around, you know. Some more objectives out on the map to try and capture. Ooh, that could be nasty. Okay, doesn't lose the medevac there. Thought he would lose like 2 of them, but not this time. Yeah. Marines here on the left side. Drop getting spotted, but I mean as well, it's the counter-attack I suppose here for DRG. Oh, I like that. BYUN just moving into the top left side corner as much as he can, and now he's making use of the fact that he knows his opponent is on the other side. So he's going to try to pave a way on the right side here, taking out a lot of creep tumors now. That does give him a bit of an advantage perhaps with the next push. He backs up, scared of another one of those surrounds like he had happened before. Someone to lose another army like that. That could be the end of him. Needs to find a good engagement here. Widow mines could be crucial to make that happen, of course. There's quite a couple of them here, 3. But DRG, it doesn't look like he's really planning to take the battle off of creep for the time being. Oh, nice. Taking out some rocks over here as well. We still have those rocks for BYUN. BYUN. Oh, that's nice. Again, the 4th base here. Getting denied. That's quite big. Those 4th bases just keep on getting destroyed here for BYUN before he gets to fly it out. There it goes again. He's just like, you know what? Never mind. Let's just forget about a 4th base. We're not doing it. It's not going to happen. Bailing's trying to come in here, but they're coming in one by one in a straight line. And BYUN's DPS is enough to just shoot them down as they're coming in. Not sure if he wants to take out the rocks necessarily, but... Well, I guess he could push in a little bit easy now. The Bailing's getting really close on top of all of these Marines, and they weren't spread out as much as they could have. Ooh, that could be a good Widow mine. No, does get cleaned up. Targeted down by the Mutalisk. Great micro so far from both these players, but it looks like DRG just a little bit on top of things here. Ooh, nice Unburrow. Still making it close. Looking at the army supply in particular here, guys. That is the majority of these Marauder numbers. They are growing quite quickly. And with these Widow mines mixed in between as well, this could be a very difficult thing for DRG to clean up. Will he be able to do it? The Bailing's not really connecting so far. More Bailings are coming in, but they need to get on top of those Marines. Otherwise, this is a very, very rough battle. More Marines splitting off. Widow mines coming in again into the fray here. Oh, BYUN is trading out incredibly well. Look at that. 4k, almost 5k extra minerals lost now by DRG. And yeah, BYUN is just going to be able to run all across him right there. GG is called. The endless push just getting more and more and more value slowly over time. Finding himself the victory right there. Mutiling Bane is good if the Terran can't get to 4 bases. Well, apparently it's good if the Terran can't get to 3 bases. Can't get to 3 bases. Crazy. Map choice. DRG. Jigannatha. Alright. Alright. Let's go with Jigannatha. Good choice. Let's put that on. BYUN is hard attacker, right? Yeah, he loves to attack. That is all he does, really. I think like 80% of the game time that he plays, he's just looking at his army and he's microing. They're both ready. Alright, let's set this up. Game number 2. Guys, remember there's a Metrino code as well. Sorry about that. Let me drink some water to clear that awful gutter noise out of my throat. Just woke up. Guess you have that then. Also, it's just a little bit of a, like, that really cold weather that keeps going like very cold, very hot, very cold, very hot every time in the Netherlands right now. I don't know exactly what's happening, but I feel like it's making me sick. So, oh, we have a I think he was in Terran. That may be the case. Oh, I was playing. Interesting. Talk to you later, Size. Happy custom. Will do, will do. Thank you, buddy. Talk to you later. We'll be okay. Alright, here we go. Game number 2. This time, I'm observing. Man, it would have been cool though. Just get BYUN on this channel here. Get him to cast, and I'll be trying to play ZVZ with DRG. Let's do that. Let's do that. Top right side, we have a blue Zerg player fighting for Team Envy. Mr. DRG. Mr. DRG. And in the bottom left side, we have ourselves a red Terran player fighting for the Shopify Rebellion. Rebellion. Here's BYUN. The red Terran from the Shopify Rebellion. For some reason, that's just fun to do. It's more fun to pronounce arse that way. Right, looks like they are ready to go. Bit of a scout here, trying to find the proxy to Rex. This is undoable. Okay, I'll stop. Wondering what BYUN will be doing here again, of course. Without the proxy 2 Rex there, must be feeling quite nice for DRG. Bit of sense of security, right? For at least the moment. Knows that he will be able to drone up. Just backs out of there. Saw everything you needed to. He's like, alright, you got a base, fine. That's good. The rest of the information will be found out by that Reaper, of course. More than plenty to see what's happening here for the time being. Off he goes. Oh, gets a link there. Nice. I mean, he won't get a creep tumor, but tries to bounce the queen off of creep. That's always cool to see. Oh, is he? Oh my god, he's gonna try it. The queen was actually stuck between the environment and the creep tumor there. May have been an opportunity. Imagine losing your creep tumor because of that. Because your queen is stuck on the building creep tumor and the environment. Sometimes it's easy to forget, right? That the creep tumors, as soon as they're ready, they you can pass through them freely, right? They don't obstruct anything. But if they're still building, that actually is an obstruction, and you won't be able to get through. So yeah, funny little interaction in the StarCraft 2 universe. Third base here for DRG gets scouted well and early. DRG would be running into, it looks like a bit of a medevac right here. Man, I am on a roll with making lobbies today, ain't I? Forgot game start this time around. Oh well. Absolute tear. I'm gonna call it just the early morning throwing me off, as per usual. As I usually do. So there's an armory here being built for BYUN. How many helms do we have so far? It's 6 of them. He does have a medevac as well, so this could be quite a nice one. He has a couple of marines, alright. It looks like that is the plan. We don't have a baneling nest here for DRG. Remember, he was delaying the baneling nest quite often in order to get himself more queen defense, right? And he does have 5 queens over here right now, and he should have more on the way very soon. But this is still very difficult to hold off with the queens, so a lot of micro has to be involved, though. Transfuse energy, not really there. It looks like he was really power banking on those creep tumors. And now all of a sudden he is in a lot of trouble. The 3 queens that are still standing are slowly falling. The Zerglings trying to commit here, but they will not be able to really deal too much against those Hellbats. The medevac still going strong as well, just healing everything up. And every, one of those Hellbats that got low, unfortunately not being able to get them targeted down. DRG there, not quite being able to run the defense there. Very, very unfortunate for him, but alright. It does mean he gets another map choice. That's already a 2-0 here. Just 3 games remaining for BYUN. DRG was greedy with the drone counts. Yeah, he never really got a good scout off on his opponent right there. At least not for the Hellbat push. I like the queen opening, overall, but you need a bit more if you want to hold off against anything like that. Because you don't have the banelings with it, right? The real best way to get yourself the quick roll around. Alright, do we have everything? I think we have everything. Okay. They're set up. They're in the players' seats. They are Terran and Zerg. No match history. Looks like we're good. Look good. Have fun. Should have thrown down a couple of spines to defend. Yeah, I think he was trying to. At least with one, but I mean the attack was already on his front door before he realized, so it's like it's already too little too late, right, at that point. Let's up on into game number 3. Already game number 3. Jeez Louise. This could be a very quick one if yeah, BYUN just keeps going like this, right? So left side, Team Envy's Blue Zerg. Give it up for the DR and the G. Mr. DRG. From the D to the R to the G. DR double G. No, this is one single G, actually. He is a red Terran, though, in this bottom right side. Shopify Rebellions. BYUN. Lovely. Lovely. Right. Hoping to see some more magic between the two here, of course. Ling Bane Mutalisk from DRG. It's always what I want to see. I think Ling Bane Mutalisk is still quite a strong strategy, but maybe some people will laugh at me for saying this, but I think Zergs may want to consider getting more Infestors involved as well. After the Ling Baneling, and then, you know, you can get a Flock of Mutalisk as well, but if you manage to squeeze out 3, maybe even 2 Infestors, and you land that Fungal on a big clump of Marines, that is a fight that is going to go incredibly heavy into your favor. And then all of a sudden, all this strategy from BYUN, where he's trying to just keep on trading against you and be efficient so that slowly but surely he's just going to have more and more and more and be an overwhelming force. That becomes a lot harder to do, because you just take the possibility to micro his units away. And that is, I mean, that is the best thing in his repertoire, of course. That it's Mr. Micro Jackson's Micro, so... But yeah, that's my opinion. I haven't really seen a lot of Zergs try to do it just quite yet. Maybe they have been trying to do it and it just doesn't work. That could be the case as well. Of course, Infestors are quite expensive. Infestation Pit's quite expensive. Then you have to get the upgrade, right? The Pathogen Glands. Alright, little spawning pool first action here is coming in with great success. Finds a cancellation on the natural base. As BYUN was doing the greedy thing here and skipping a single marine, skipping the Reaper, putting the command center on the low grounds and just going straight for a reactor. So yeah, spawning pool first here, working out incredibly well for DRG. Other than Dark, Zerg don't transition into Hive Tech with Lingbane Mutalisk. What about Ultralisk though? They are Hive Tech, right? That is usually quite a common transition. No? And Vipers as well, right? You want to get Vipers later on as well. Well, I guess it depends on what you're really fighting against. If you're fighting against Siege Tanks, or if you're fighting against... maybe some Protoss, something like that. But you don't really play Lingbane Muta versus Protoss anymore. Unless if you're just going full counter-attack. Just avoid all Protoss. Except for the probes. I don't know. There's ways to take it into Hive Tech. Okay, Banshee with the cloak coming up. DRG, to be fair, like, he is a player that loves to stay on lair. Like, for a really long time. This has always been something of his play, right? He's always been a player that just wants to have that, quick, nimble force that's running around very quickly. The Hive Tech, I mean, sometimes the Ultralisk, right, they still kind of allow for that playstyle more so, but... Yeah, DRG, not really the player that is known for... setting up with lurkers defensively, trying to rotate against his enemy's attacks. No, he's the guy that is good at just sending in counterattacks, sending in continuous forces as his opponent is not expecting them. Coming in from surrounds with, you know, quick, nimble units that are continuously just running around on the map. Though right now, he's not really gathering information about these Marines and the Hellions coming around across the map. There are 5 queens here, though, to defend against this. That should be plenty. As long as he doesn't send them all away into the main base against this Banshee here, of course. Banshee's getting a good bit of value, actually. 5 kills. Very good already. Might get a 6th here. And he's coming in now with the Hellbats and the Marines as well. Luckily for DRG, there's not that many Hellbats this time around, so... maybe the Zerglings will be able to just get a good surround off and get some damage. But, oh my god, that is still a lot of damage from those Hellbats. Melting away the Zerglings. Zerglings not getting on top of those Marines here, unfortunately, just quite yet. Then she needs to target down the Banelings, I would say. There we go, there he goes for it. Very well done. Can allow the Hellbats and the Marines now again to push a bit more forward. But, wait a moment. 15 drones, are you kidding me? 15 drones, this one Banshee? Oh my god. BYUN. How? What have you been doing with this Banshee? Man, I'm really glad I didn't do that 1v1 versus BYUN now. He would kill me with a single Banshee. Like... BYUN could probably leave me alone for like 3 minutes in the game, like not do anything at all, then start playing. Probably still kill me with a single Marine or a single Reaper or something like that. Jeez Louise. 4 more workers going down right there. I mean, if you want to see, yeah, 19 workers. We got 51 versus 46 workers at the moment. A 3rd base coming up for BYUN. I guess it's good for DRG that that 2nd base was quite delayed, so BYUN not as far ahead on the economy as he could have been otherwise. Nice bit of rewalling there for BYUN as well. Keeping everything safe. Right, DRG stabilized. He's building up his drone count once again. I mean, if he manages to stay afloat on this worker lead for a little bit, he might be able to get himself back into this. What frightens me slightly, though, is the idea that just 2 more barracks finished up for BYUN. I imagine that there's going to be quite a bit of aggression coming out of that as well. Third base flying over. Will this be a moment where BYUN tries to make something happen across the map? He does have the 2 medevacs, so I mean that is as good as a reason as any to try and make something occur. There he goes. Circling scouts will be coming across and see that there is the Terran force coming in here. Good position on that high ground. A couple of Zerglings running across. We'll be going for the counter attack. Siege tank, 1 on the ramp, 1 gonna try to stick close to the ramp, trying to deny surface area on top of it as much as possible. Zerglings here on top of a supply depot, not the best damage, of course. No, the reinforcements for BYUN is there to try and deal with this. I guess he's gonna lose this supply depot as well. Slight bit of damage, really minuscule amount, but kind of keeps BYUN on his toes, forces the reinforcements to stay on that side of the map as well. So you can see those Marines here. I can't believe the Queens are still pushing, actually. Queens, they're going to use up all their transfuse energy, and they're not going to win this fight. It's like, well, I can stay alive here for longer. That's okay. I got transfuse. Now he tries to come in from multiple angles. Zerglings and Queens. More Marines coming in as well, though. The Banelings getting rather close to those Marines. Oh, a good pickup. Saving the day. Oh, that Siege tank as well. Getting a couple of great shots into more Banelings there in the end. Army supply looking very, very good here for BYUN. But his Marines, they are heavily stimmed up. Only with the 3 medevacs here. Maybe there's a chance for a Baneling to get a good connection. That is what DRG is looking for here. Being very patient, and DRG may not have to find that Baneling connection right away. Never mind, it's okay, we'll have to find a Baneling connection right away. Really? DRG is struggling to figure out what BYUN is up to. Same for me. Oh my god, you're kidding me! That's more Banelings going down. Alright. Oof. Oof. Quite a nice setup here from this red Terran. The Zerglings and the Banelings looking to cause a bit of trouble here on this base, but well, let's see if that works out. Siege tank already causing them to rethink their efforts here. Don't want to be blown apart. Napoleon blown apart. Okay, should be able to get on top of that Siege tank now if he really wants to. There's no other Marines, and he actually backs off again here. Oh, that is why, because of the drop arriving in the main base. Has to send units over there, otherwise he might lose most of his technology. Another drop here in the natural as well, trying to find damage absolutely anywhere. The Siege tank finally picked off as well. DRG has a bit of breathing room now. But, I mean, the hands of BYUN, they are wrapping around his throat here, it feels like. Slowly but surely choking the life force out of DRG. He's hanging on as well, to be fair. I mean, a 5th base is coming up, and BYUN is still on 3 base here. Will it be enough, though? The resources lost tab quite heavily in BYUN's favor here. Almost twice as much minerals lost by DRG as opposed to BYUN. Here we are, Banelings. Come on, Banelings. We need some good connections here for the first time. Come on. They're so close. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Once again, great splits right there from the red boy. And more drops as well coming in absolutely everywhere. Drop over here. 2 drops right there. Drop number 3 coming up there. And there's no medevacs. It's not a drop. This will be a drop soon, I'm fairly certain. Yep, that's a dead hatchery. 5th base no longer a thing. Drop in the base. Drop in your face. Siege tanks back up on this location again as well. Banelings coming to save the day here. That is a nice cleanup indeed. As BYUN is just going to send out more forces out on the low ground here. Really wants to put a stop to the mining going on this base right now. It does just feel like watching BYUN play. I don't know if this analogy holds up to a lot of people, but it's like just watching a guy disassembling some piece of furniture slowly, methodically, right? He's just like slowly starts by taking out the screws on the top that are visible, and then he's like, all right, well, how is it still stuck together? Oh, there's some glue here in between these creaks, all right, and then he puts another tool in there so he can start wigging that, and he just very slowly takes apart the entire cabin or closet or whatever the hell it is, but it's very methodical, and he just kind of like, all right, well, here we go. Orman, what is Orman? Romanticide? Romanticide. Yeah, probably romanticide. Oh, wait. Alright, rehost. WCS, there we go. There we are, let's get BYUN in there. Alright. Oh, we're getting close, guys. That is now 3 games in favor for Mr. BYUN. Mr. BYUN just needs 2 more victories. DRG's in trouble. DRG's still picking all the old maps here, by the way. I think that is quite a clear sign that he does not feel comfortable in the new maps yet either. Or maybe he has some preconceptions about those maps regarding their favorability towards Terrans. Who knows? What I do know is that we have best of 9. With this man 0 points so far in game number 4. He's from Team NV, the blue Zerg player, Mr. DRG. Bottom right side, the red Terran player fighting for Shopify Rebellion, BYUN. Micro Jackson, the Korean pocket knife, the one-man army, the wild man. Need to learn some of the nicknames for DRG as well. I know like 6 nicknames for BYUN, and I hardly know any for any other player. No spawning pool first this time around. I don't think BYUN's going to go for the reactor first again here, right? Well, maybe he will. I mean, it is romanticide. Okay, we'll go for the Marine. Getting that command center afterwards. All good, all smooth and swimming. Smooth sailing so far. Except for DRG, because usually if smooth sailing is happening, then for some reason that just goes into BYUN's favor here. Third base. It's always nice not having to worry about the Reapers here when you're making his third base, right? Circlings are gonna be okay. Your creep tumors are gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Up until the point where BYUN actually has stuff. And comes out of his little fortress of solitude to try and take you out. He will punch you in the throat and hit you on the shin. There's a sneaky overlords here. Will be able to set himself up for a pretty okay scout. Is the Marine going to see him? Not yet. If he moves a little bit further, he would have seen him, but it's not going to see him so far. So maybe the Overlord could get himself a little bit further down here in order to get secret entrance into this base. I kind of showed you just now. There's a Banshee coming up. Does he see it now with this? He might. Yeah, yep, he does. Alright, so he knows. Alright, no easy scout there for that Overlord. Circlings, they are going to have speed momentarily. I wouldn't imagine DRG is a very safe player though, right? He's making all those queens. I can't imagine him not making a couple of spore crawlers. Especially since we've already seen BYUN go for the battle cruisers as well, right? You would imagine DRG goes for the just the blind spore crawlers here. Ooh, might have seen this Banshee actually. That would have been nice. Need to start making those spore crawlers soon. Don't have much time remaining, DRG. Oh boy. Oh boy, it's not happening, is it? Circling over here, also not being able to spot the Banshee as it's on the high ground. Very unfortunate timing there for Mr. DRG. Still no spore crawlers anywhere to be seen. He's making a lair, but that's far away removed from an overseer. Cloak is about to finish up here. Now the Banshee is revealed. DRG still not responding. Still no spore crawlers on the way. There we go. Finally, they're here. But this Banshee is going to have an absolute field day. And this may just be GG already. Unless if we see DRG really pulling out a rabbit out of his hat right here and now. This is rough. This is incredibly rough. And that is 7 workers, just like that. DRG, I suppose he did save a lot of workers from not building those spore crawlers for a while, but I mean, it's not great. It's not great. Could have been a lot worse, though, to be fair. He's still 10 workers ahead. He's got those spore crawlers now. Just needs to be okay against these Marines coming in. He has an Overlord spotting this as well, so he should be aware. Does he have a Baneling Nest? He does. Yeah. It almost looks like he was kind of blind prepping for the Hellbat pressure once again. Just kind of completely in the mindset like, alright, that's probably what he's going to do again here. Let's just try to set it up. No, we're not having any of that. The Baneling Speed's still going to be extremely useful against these Marine numbers though, of course. Which is going to be the upcoming attack here for BYUN. And as long as DRG has a good bit of creep spread, I would give the odds for the Zerglings and Banelings to get some connections fairly okay. Alright, look at this creep. Look at the amount of creep to Mr. Dice being able to be put down. Because, what? DRG has 8 queens. 8 queens off of the 3 base. A little bit lackluster on the creep spread this way. We only really have 1 creep to worth of distance here. Maybe 1.25. Coming on forwards. It's the rough place where you don't really want to see the Marines suddenly appearing. The Zerglings trying to come in from behind as well. They will be able to get this siege tank. And that's just already enough for these screens to be like, you know, let's just move backwards. Zerglings on the counter-offensive. Find a couple of Marines and move back before they all get shot to bits. Spire coming up. Will have himself some Mutalisk momentarily here, and that's going to make it more difficult for these Medivacs to stay afloat. Really would love to see some more creep spread this way. I think that is one of the areas where he really has to focus on. Just in comparison to the other creep spread going around, you know. That was also the area where BYUN already showed that he wants to start pushing from. Could be dangerous with siege tanks behind these mineral patches as well. If you don't have creep, kind of being able to surround it from the other side. We only now have the upgrades for DRG finishing up, by the way. Incredibly delayed. So +1/+1 already finished up here for BYUN. This +2/+2 is going to take a while. The Mutalisk have arrived in the natural base and are picking up some of those SCVs. A reasonable force for BYUN does keep it in check. You know what? This is an okay spot for DRG, right? Because now he has his Mutalisk. He's on the other side of the map. We have BYUN with siege tanks instead of Widowmines, so he's going to have a rough time cleaning this up. He's going to have to utilize the missile turrets and the Marines to just continuously run around, which is going to keep him from pushing across the map himself. And that's going to potentially allow DRG to now take a large portion of the map here, right? Don't tell me he's just going to try to push in here with the queens. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. This is 9-minute creep spread, guys. This is 9-minute creep spread, and it's almost at the 4th base of the Terran. That's with BYUN trying to deny the creep to Messiah with the Banshees, with Marines. Doing all sorts of stuff. Right, looks like the defensive setup for BYUN here. Quite nice. Has, wow, 4 missile turrets right there. Quite the investments, but I suppose when you're playing against DRG, it's just a matter of time until it tries to fly in there with his Mutalisk. Being able to just shut it down like that. You know what? Very much worth it in my book. Mutalisk seeing most of the army on the top side, and that's going to give a clean entrance to these Zerglings with the Banelings. Rolling on through, trying to get whatever they can. A lot of SCVs right there. And this is where BYUN finds himself suddenly with quite a bit of trouble on his hands. And that's the missile. That's 4 missile turrets in a row. 4 of them, sure. Why the hell not? Okay, BYUN losing a couple of his workers there. Only on 63 right now. Could be a problem for him. Although he is one of these Terrans that will still do okay, even if he does have a lower worker count. He's kind of already a player that has a lower SCV count overall to other Terrans anyway. And he allows that to happen just because he's more efficient with his army, right? So a lot more Marines here this time around. Cancels the 5th base that was trying to be created. The Marines gotta keep splitting here. And that was an okay trade there for BYUN, I would say. DRG maybe overstepping his boundaries slightly. Although, to be fair, he's maxed out on supply. He's making, what is this, like a 6th and a 7th base right now. He might be okay with trading inefficiently at this point, right? And that's the problem for BYUN. He never really managed to deny DRG from continuously expanding. He never really got the trades aggressively going across the map. And now, it's just BYUN in this small part of the map, stuck in a little prison cell. As DRG is just doing whatever the hell he wants with the rest of this map. Another base might fall. Looks like the Mutalisk will be allowing it to live for the time being. In order to avoid more Mutalisk brethren going down as well. Getting on top of these ghosts very aggressively. Does work out. I mean, he's going for the Ultralisk, so starting to snipe out the ghost here. Very good move. He knows how good BYUN is with those snipes, so if he gets those ghosts knocked out right now, that's going to give a lot more viability to his Ultralisk. Especially since we don't have Marauders mixed in here either, right? Just the ghost. Really the answer for those Ultralisks. So a very smart move from DRG, deciding to target those down. Here he goes again, taking out a planetary fortress. That puts BYUN back on 3 bases right now. DRG moves back. He wants to have a moment here, of course, to replenish all his forces. Is BYUN going to give him that moment? Looks like, yeah, he's going to take out a couple of queens, but that's all he will be doing for the time. Not that much he can do, right? 90 army supply. He wants to just get to max, I suppose, and... Well... He's playing it slow, he's playing it carefully. It's almost like an entirely different BYUN we're seeing here right now, coming in. A lot of ghosts once again falling, circling right on top of everything here, and that might be it, guys. I'm not sure what else you can expect here from someone. That is a BYUN. Even if it is BYUN, right? He's lost too much. GG is called. DRG will not go down up in flames without taking some games himself. Sets himself up with the first points on the board. Quite nice, quite nice. And that's going to give BYUN the first map pick also. We are now 4 games down. That gives us still 3 maps remaining. And the one map that is not one of the new ones will be chosen here. They're still really trying to avoid these new maps, it looks like. Hopefully they don't mind that they will be playing on the other one here. Ready? Go, go, go. We're ready to go. Alright, let's see what happens here. It's on Oxide. We all know Oxide. Marvelous map. I hope I didn't forget anything now. It looks like we're good. Good to go. We're set up well in the lobby. All the buttons that had to be pressed did get pressed by nobody else but yours truly, Mr. Really Kozan. And, yeah. Guys, remember there's a match arena. If you want to give these players a little bit of extra cash for the games, then that's a great way to do it. It doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you a nickel. All it does is cost you a couple of button clicks as well. And you've seen how well StarCraft 2 players are at clicking buttons. I think it's a very manageable thing to do. 50 cents added to the price pool. If we all pitch in, that is going to be quite a nice bit of extra money for these players to fight over. Alright, game number 5. That's loaded up, of course. Let us bring you in here. 1 point and 3 points. There we are. Bottom left side, Team Envy's Blue Zerg, DRG. Top right, Red Terran player, Shopify Rebellion, BYUN. BYUN. There is the hatchery first for DRG. He's not messing about. Wants to try and find himself that macro opening here. We've seen him go for the spawning pool first once, and I think that on its own, in the best of 9 in particular, might be enough already, right? We've not seen BYUN again go for the as greedy build as he did that one time. To be fair, he still won that game, so who knows? It feels weird though, right? Seeing BYUN that previous game, I'm not quite sure what happened to make him play what felt so differently, right? Instead of trying to find the fights, he was just kind of set up defensively and allowed DRG to run into him. And then, as soon as that happens, in a way, right, you have the advantage of having buildings, having more kind of choke points. You're already set up for the engagement, so you don't have to potentially micro as badly. There's no real chance of you getting ambushed as you're moving across the map, that type of stuff. But, at the same time, if you do micro away, right? If you start stutter stepping, if you start to kite the Zerg army and the banelings and such, you're kiting away from your SCV line. And as soon as those banelings get on top of those SCVs, I mean, they're not going to just keep running after the Marines. They'll be like, alright, fine, we'll just kill SCVs. We'll just kill this planetary here. And we're going to get the heck out of there as soon as we can. And that's how you start losing your economy. And that's how... You know what? Even if you do trade more efficiently, it doesn't matter anymore. Seeing how you're just losing your economy, right? You're doing so much worse on the economy that your efficiency in trading just doesn't matter anymore. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. Widow Mines this time around. BYUN, I love it. Give me some Widow Mines. I know the Zergs have been getting better and better against Widow Mines, of course, but I still believe the Widow Mines are the superior tool against the Zergs. Well, unless if they go Roaches, Lurkers, or Hydralisks, or something like that, of course. But yeah. There we go. 1 Widow Mine and 2 Hellions extra being added on as well. That's fair. That's all fair. We might see, actually. Yeah, alright. Yeah, there he goes. Okay, so this is starting off with a drop. If he manages to keep those Marines and the Widow Mine alive, I mean, he's also making a Liberator. Are we going to see an Armory as well being added in here? Ooh, gets the Overlord. That is always good. Coming across. DRG starting to send back the other Overlords. Doesn't want them all sniped out, of course. He didn't get supply blocked, so that is nice. Still has everything going for him. Ba-ba-da-da. No, he's out. He's out. Ah, he's going out. Alright, Hellions this time around. They might be able to do some damage. No, there's queens there as well. There's queens absolutely everywhere. Why, you ask? Why in the world are there queens everywhere? Well, it's because he has 6 of them. I thought he would have more. Well, he's going to have more soon. 7 to 8 of them pretty soon. So yeah, and that's pre 5 minutes as well, by the way. So quite quick on the uptick of those queens. And yeah, look at that. It's working out for him, right? It's a very safe way to open up here from DRG, and I'm very much digging this type of style. Very fun to see. The good thing as well is, like, it keeps you relatively safe against these Hellbats attacks. It keeps you somewhat safe against the Marines and stuff like that. Clearly, it's not going to be as efficient against that as Banelings would have been. But you have a buffer. You have something to kind of hold the ground. Try to micro it out and still get yourself some sort of defense going, right? At the same time, those queens, they're going to be able to deal with potential battle cruisers. They're going to be able to deal with potential medevacing that are trying to fly around. There's a lot of potential there, right? Very versatile units. That is just going to be good in a lot of situations. Let's just leave it there. Spire coming up. As well as the Baneling speed here. Once again, those upgrades, of course, going into BYUN's favor quite rapidly. As he is flying across with that third base. 2 medevacs have finished up here. Yeah, we're going to see the aggressive nature from BYUN once again coming through. Another very important thing about playing Terran versus Zergs, right, is that if you don't keep moving across the map, if you don't just kind of show your units everywhere, that's going to allow the Zerg to just drone up like a madman, right? Because if you're just not doing anything, he's not going to need more units. If you're continuously just posturing around the map, they're going to get angsty. They're going to be like, you know what, maybe I do need more Zerglings. That's when you allow the Zerg to be in a mind state where it's very easy to make mistakes with when to drone and when to make units. That could be a great advantage, of course. Army of BYUN here, not very strong, honestly. I think DRG should be able to just clean it up extremely easily. But DRG just kind of playing it safe for the time being. Doesn't want to push into something that he doesn't have to. Oh, there we go. Okay, this is a good time. There it is. The queens are being targeted and the medevacs are being lifted up again. There we go. Back to the siege tank. Did he see the 4th base? Think he did. Think he did. Wouldn't mind blocking the hatchery on the left side. Mutalisk now finding the Liberator harassment as well. Do we have a 4th base coming up for BYUN here somewhere? Don't think so. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you get a siege tank shot right somewhere there, it's like 5, 6 banelings in one shot just gone. Especially if they're just clumped up like that, right? Especially if there's 3 siege tanks involved. Needs to get the rest of the marines there. Needs to, okay, whew, does manage to. Big stim being baited out. It's going to cost some of that medevac energy here, of course. Mutalisk might be able to rotate, get a kill on a siege tank or 2. Yeah, look at that. Lovely. Ooh, just barely doesn't, but doesn't get greedy either, right? Just kind of backs up. Not losing a single Mutalisk. BYUN doing a delicate balance here in the middle. He's not really been able to engage with DRG though again here. Well, I mean, that's still a good unit lost tab, but I mean, it's so little units going down overall that it doesn't really matter the difference overall. There we are. That's what BYUN wants, right? He wants DRG to try and finish off his opponents here. Try and push in here and get something going. But neither of them really doing any of that. Okay, well, I guess BYUN here, a little bit moving on the moving forwards. This is a very great place for the Terran to push after all. Very nice choke point area. Where it's difficult for the Zerg to wrap around. Though it looks like, you know what, DRG, is he going to go for... No, okay, he's just going to go for the counter-attack. Oh, never mind, he will go for the wraparound. And that's a cleanup. BYUN's the rest of his force is not quite getting in the right position here. Now we have DRG trying to force himself through this very tiny choke point. The bio forces of BYUN are in a little bit of trouble. But it looks like just by the skin of their teeth, they will be able to hold on for now. And the 4th base does get established. With that 4th base coming up, we see the Hive Tech coming in for DRG as well. Realizing that he may need to bring it into a later stage of this game. Remember that BYUN has been playing with a 2 upgrade advantage for quite a while now as well. Still has the +2/+2. DRG only with the +1/+1 right now. +3/+3 is on the way, but the +2/+2 for DRG is going to finish up a little bit sooner. There's only a single missile turret here. In the natural, and that is where the Mutalisk are flying next. Thor trying to shoot him away with those lovely explosives. We'll be able to do so. To help with a couple of Marines as well. DRG taking out the sensor tower there. Trying to keep the movements of his Zerglings hidden. But I think it just barely got built in time there for a split second. Maybe it was visible there for BYUN on the minimap. Some mules departing from this world as well. Couldn't quite bear the sight of the Mutalisk coming in again. We are having quite a... Actually, yeah, a third... almost a third extra army supply here for BYUN. So he definitely has the army to try and make something happen. In particular because we don't have the Hive upgrades or units quite yet available here for DRG. So, I mean, if anything is going to happen here for BYUN, I would love to see it happen right about now. Try to get himself into a favorable position at this moment in time. Make use of this moment where DRG is trying to transition, is trying to get those very strong upgrades, such as adrenal glands, such as the 3/3 and such. before all of that is going to finish up here, DRG is having a Terran army with almost +3/+3 finishing up here. If that finishes up, this would be so much better right now, but we are having the engagement before that actually occurs. Baneling's not quite plenty enough to really take out a Terran army here, but there are more coming. Army supply is faltering a little bit here for BYUN. DRG is just maxing out immediately after the fight again with the bank that he has established for himself right now. That's a lot of Banelings. Okay. Woo. Good Widowmine safeguarding the infantry right there. I'm not so sure, guys. This is looking a bit dicey here for Mr. BYUN. Ooh, good target with the Widowmine. But still, there's just so much Zerg that is going to clean this up. The Medivacs, desperate to try and get anything back across the map here. A lot of fake Marines are being made right now as well. It looks like DRG will not be able to finish off his opponent, but, I mean, keeping everything on his side of the map alive. And this was the moment where it felt like BYUN had to get a base killed off. Command center flying quite a distance here in order to capture that base. We still could have a mapped, split map as well, right? A situation like that could be quite nice for BYUN, as he is trading quite well, but I mean, he still has 2 bases to secure in order to really allow such a situation to take fruit. Okay, gets out of there. Quite a bit of infantry. Sacrifice to take out the base. Oh, Nelly! Yep. It's a lot of SCVs. More droppage going on over here, but this base right now, that was quite crucial for BYUN to try and secure at this moment in time. It looks like it will be picked off. Baneling's getting really close to the Marines. Okay, good pull away there by BYUN. We'll not allow that to happen. Another base will fall here for DRG as well, though. And that is a lovely job. Well done by Mr. BYUN, finding himself that damage right now. Flying over his natural base, deciding that he needs that extra mining right the heck now. Cannot afford to be on a lower income here for a very long period of time. Sends in the armada of Terran. Couple of changelings right there, maybe making things a bit too obvious. They're coming across. Widow mines, quick to be burrowed into the ground. Don't really get the great connections here. And there it is. Okay, DRG will actually push out. The Banelings, they just weren't there. The Mutalisk fighting against the 2 Thors. Again, not quite being able to get that victory going, and that is the GG. BYUN being able to hold on there for a long period of time, still getting those good trades in, and DRG afterwards losing those bases was a bit too much for him. Did he get that command center that was floating away? I don't even think that he did, so yeah. Man, that was a weird game. I thought DRG was in a better position than that he was, but Alright. DRG has to choose between Beckett Industries or Blackburn. Blackburn, okay. Oh, wait. Sorry. There we are. Okay. I'm bad at making lobbies these days. I'm not good at it. Also, my posture is horrible. I know. Oh, wait, hold up. Yeah. Good posture. Alright. Let's see. Let's not make BYUN the referee here. That might not be all that successful. We'll just do it like this. Alright. Let's see if they're ready. I think they are. Alright. Good luck. Have fun. BYUN. Will he get himself a 5-1 victory here? I mean, he didn't seem all that confident in the start, but I guess that's kind of BYUN's forte as well, right? Doesn't really like to brag. It's like, no, I'll probably get 5-0'd myself here. DRG will be able to do it. No problem. No problem right there. Yeah. Stretching. Alright, here we are. Game number... Which one? Which one is it again? Alright, let me see. We have 1 point here. 4 points here. So this is game number 6. Bam! Game number 6. That makes sense. Ooh, this is a fancy color scheme here. Look at that. Crazy stuff, guys. We are going to have some... This is the new... weird map, isn't it? This is like a new golden wall overall. We've got some slow zones over here. That could be quite tricky to deal with. A couple of spaces. My dear lord. We're just going to skip the introductions. Just look at this map for a little bit. Really like the fact you can expand upwards. You're going to kind of probably follow around that path over here. Maybe BYUN will decide to expand further forwards, right? Especially over here. If you manage to secure like these choke points over here, I would say that is absolutely massive. Looks like you have got quite a couple of choke points over here as well, right? That's a very good place for the Terran to try and set up their army. It might be a little bit difficult for the Terran to move from here to here, unless if they take out the rooks. And it becomes easier, but then it also allows the Zerg, of course, to start pushing in from another area. If you take out the golden minerals, that's going to open you up as well from another flank right there. It's not the worst flank, but it is one of those flanks that could be a little bit annoying. Since you could just make a little wall over here, or maybe over here. I don't know. Definitely interesting. Speed zones in between the air kind of spaces as well, right? No flying units will be able to cross here incredibly quickly. We'll have to fly around a slight bit. Actually, there is a pathway right between all of those, right between here. You will be able to pass through, but that's okay, that's okay. Some flying units will be quick, some will not. Depends on how good you will be with your way pathing. Third base, DRG, making it happen. This is, you know, I'm liking this map so far. I don't like the textures on the ground here as much. This is a bit too much of a chessboard kind of feel to me, but... I like the layouts. I really like the layouts. I think that's very well done. Some map makers a bit better with the textures and trying to make everything, you know, every speck on the ground look absolutely gorgeous. Some map makers better at figuring out cool ways to make the map interesting, right? Oh. Oh my. How can he see this overlord? Excuse me, sir? Sir? Don't tell me. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you really? Oh my god, what? How? No. Oh, it's because he has high ground vision here. Right, okay, I see. Man, that is rough. That is rough. Oh, man, I feel bad for DRG right now. I feel bad for DRG right now. Oh, learning that in... Oh, ooh, ew. I guess he was hoping that that would be okay. I mean, you know what? Now the lesson is learned. It's a harsh lesson. Beyond finding those slow zones here as well. Having a bit of trouble there. The noise of the medevac when it lifts up. Bailing Nest. There we go. It is going to be necessary as we do have that armory once again coming in here. Hellions are already coming across the map. This Bailing Nest might be a little bit late, DRG. We have 6 queens. Where the hell are you, fine ladies? Alright, they're having a ladies' night out on the top side of the creep area. We'll have to get them all together, have a bit of a reunion with the rest of the girls. Try to get... Oh my dear God, he might get shot off before he gets up the ramp here. He's already taking quite a bit of damage. One queen goes down. There's another queen here. Quite quick to take a dive as well. The Zerglings trying to get on top of those Marines, but those Halberds, they do so much damage against those light armored units. Getting closer and closer in here. The Zerglings, some of them get a good connection on the top of those Halberds, but it looks like this is, once again, a bit too much for DRG to handle. He's bringing out more Zerglings. He's lost all of his queens. He's trying his best now to break down those Halberds. He hasn't lost any of those drones just quite yet, but this is a rough one. Okay, Zerglings, finally a good surround on all areas. And that is, that is enough to clean it up. But, man, there was a lot of damage there being taken. More Hellbats here with a Banshee as well. We don't have a Spore Crawler here just quite yet, and we have Cloak finishing up as well right now. This is as abysmal as it gets. My dear God, just when DRG thinks stuff can't get any worse, it just gets worse and worse. 5 workers go down. Spore Crawler finally alive, but another drone does fall down before it manages to shoo everything away. Oof. Oof. Tricky situation here. Tricky. It's tricky to play a game of StarCraft 2 versus BYUN. That is for sure. Sending in his boys through the top. 2 Banshees right there. Might still be able to get quite a bit of eco damage. Seems like there's a bit of dead space. I'm not quite sure how far to the right you can go. But I would imagine this is still a little bit of a space where you can get that Banshee harassment going. It's what it looks like to me, at least. Still has the 2 Hellbats as well. Don't often see survivors of the Hellbat bush. Especially the Hellbats, of course. Kind of awkward. Alright, what are we seeing? A Spire coming in. Once again, the upgrade advantage gonna go quite heavily into BYUN's favor. DRG opted to go for more queens early on, of course. Sacrifice a bit of his gas uptick in order to be more secure against early aggression. And even with all those queens, man, that was a rough one. Just not expecting that attack coming in. Trying to get his queens up to the high ground. Not really being able to do so without losing a bunch of HP, a bunch of the transfuse energy, and, of course, an entire queen as well. So, yeah. A little bit late with the maneuvering there, perhaps. 4th base coming up. DRG might have that get cancelled, though. 2 Banshees here. Yep, that's a quick cancel, and that drone's not going to be able to get away either. Right, is he? Is he? Is he? He is. Wow, okay, never mind. That works out. A couple of Widowmines here with the Marines now pushing on forward. What do we have for DRG? Only 6 Zerglings, 7 Banelings, and 3 Queens. Alright, more Banelings are being morphed though. If we get a good Widowmine connection onto a group of Banelings, this is GG. A single good Widowmine connection could finish off the game here, but the Banelings getting on top. And it looks like the Zerg is actually the one getting the better connections here. Nice dodge on the Widowmines. Well done indeed. DRG stays afloat, stays alive. Plugs the holes on his boat and just kind of ferries down the river further down the track. Trying to get some stuff going here. Banshee now on the top side, trying to find another area where he can get some damage dealt. Not really finding too much. Well, the push is coming in as well. He realizes that there is a gold base trying to be constructed here from DRG. I like this gold base choice. It's, though it is going to be quite easy for BYUN, of course, to try and deal with this. It's another issue about just taking this base that you're mining with an entire open area behind your mineral line here. I mean, a couple of Marines could just kill all your drones at that point in time, right? Are you going to get Banelings through the minerals? I don't think you will. Alright. But, wait a moment. This is kind of a pocket as well, isn't it? So if DRG just comes in with Zerglings from this area, where is BYUN to go? Alright, here we go. Widowmine needs to get a good connection onto those Banelings. Oh, that was pretty good. Still a good amount of Baneling connections there onto the Marines. And that is kind of the thing, right? BYUN didn't have many ways to go, but yeah, it's still too much. It's still too much. Even with the Banelings there finally being able to do something, BYUN just too far ahead.